In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Monday, March 4th. We got a crazy slate. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Monday, March 4th NBA slate we got going on. But before I deep dive into that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. We're going to touch on that very, very soon. But right now, we are at the homepage of the YouTube, and you're going to see something that had a huge change. All right. Absolutely huge change. If we go to our video that was posted on Sunday, we had a massive hit here with 1.6 thousand views. All right. That is the 1K siren. We're going to be playing it every single time. Every single time we hit over 1K, we're going to be playing that siren. Every time we sweep a slate, we're going to be playing that siren. Thank you guys. Yo, much appreciation. I appreciate the comments, the love and support down below that I've been receiving in my DM messages. I don't know what happened, but we hit it strong and we dominated that slate as well. I'm going to go over those picks very soon, but you guys responded when I asked for likes, comments, and subscriptions, and you guys did outstanding. From that one video alone, we got over 80 subscribers. All right, so we're at 1.61 thousand subscribers. The new goal is 1.7. Let's continue to push that forward. Let's continue to get to 2K well before the NFL season starts. All right, I'm gonna have you guys on a roll. All right. We're talking about NBA. We're talking about NFL draft that's coming up. We're talking about best ball. Get you guys ready and pad those pockets. Now, for the Patreon, in that video, most of my picks are pretty on point. We had the 76ers. They outright won that game. Not only did they cover the +8, they won. The Hornets came through with the +8. That came through. The Celtics foot stomped the Warriors. The first half spread was covered. The full game spread was covered. They won by over 50 points. Not only that, we had the Clippers beat the Timberwolves there. Pistons didn't come through. They lost by like 15, but that's fine. And then we're waiting on news on that last game with the Thunder going up against the Phoenix Suns. So, guys, do not miss out on the Patreon. We are on fire right now. I appreciate everyone that commented down below. And let's keep this same energy for that Sunday video into this Monday video. All right, let's get into the slate. The first game on the slate, we have a West Coast versus East Coast, conference matchup we got going on here. Memphis Grizzlies 20-41 going up against the Brooklyn Nets, who are 24-36. All right, looking at that line right now, we have a -350 on the money line for the Nets, a +260 on the money line for the Grizzlies. Now, that spread is at an 8.5. Yes, 8.5. We had the Brooklyn Nets come off back-to-back games against the Atlanta Hawks, beat them, and now they're coming against the lowly Memphis Grizzlies, and that 8.5 is pretty high, just want to say. Now, the total is at 213.5 points, okay? Now, look, the public money, if we're going bets in the money, 80% of the money, 90% of the bets on the Brooklyn Nets, 1% of the bets, 65% of the money for the Nets to cover that spread of 8.5. And you have majority of the money, 81 and 76% on the over of 213.5 points. All right. Now, there's some key injuries in this matchup, okay? The only way I could even trust the Memphis Grizzlies was if Jaren Jackson is playing. Now, these injuries are already confirmed. You can go to RotoWire or Roto World and look at the news. Zaire Williams is out. Jaren Jackson is out, and Derrick Rose will not be able to play. They're losing those three key guys. So you got a whole bunch of mediocre players. So we're talking about, if we're looking at that previous matchup there, it was 111-86. And like I said, you're going to be seeing Aldama. You're going to be seeing Luke Kennard, Vince Williams, Gigi Jackson. You're going to see a lot of scrubs in this matchup here for this Memphis against the Brooklyn Nets here. Like I said before, 111 to 86. It didn't even reach the 213.5 points. And this is going to be without Jaren Jackson and without Zaire Williams. So I'm going to be going towards the under 213.5 points here. There's going to be a lot of guys missing from Memphis. And I expect this to be a blowout. So we're going to be trusting. We're going to trust the Brooklyn Nets to cover that 8.5. If we're looking at their against the spread numbers, at home, they're 15 and 12 against the spread. And as favorites, they are 11 and 7 against the spread. So they've been coming through in situations when they're finally favorited. They tend to come through. So we're going to trust the Nets here. The guarantee is the money line. The question is the 8.5. We're going to go with the 8.5 in this one. And I like the under here to avoid that public money because I do not expect the Memphis Grizzlies to keep up pace. Let's go on to the next game. For game number 2, we have a big matchup here. LA Clippers, who are currently 39 and 20, just coming off a big win today, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now they're going to Milwaukee, facing the Bucks, who are 40 and 21. Looking at the line of the odds, the Bucks minus 185 on the money line. The Clippers, if you want them, you got to take it at a plus 150. The point spread is at a 4.5 on both sides, with the over/under at 230.5 points. All right, looking where the money's at. Bets in the money, 85% and 89% on the Milwaukee Bucks to win out. On the point spread, 63% of the bets, 66% of the money on Milwaukee to cover 4.5, and 70% of the bets, 73% of the money on the total of being over 230.5 points. All right, now for the injury list here, we already know Russell Westbrook's going to be out for a long time with a broken hand. We're going to have to wait on news about Giannis. All right. So right now they're saying that there's an Achilles issue. Definitely stay tuned to news. Okay. Roto World, Roto Wire. I'm going to put it down low where you can follow these websites for up-to-date injury news. Okay. That's how we found out about Anthony Edwards, but you got to stay tuned to the news. That could be a huge loss there for the Bucks, and that line is going to adjust. All right, so looking at these two teams, we're going to act like Giannis is playing. As of right now, they haven't played yet. This is going to be their first matchup this year, and this is going to be the second end of a back-to-back for the LA Clippers, all right? Like I said, they just beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. You have the Bucks at home, and they're pretty rested. Now, the final factor here is against the spread. The Bucks at home are 13 and 18 against the spread, and the Bucks as favorites are 22 and 30 as favorites against the spread. So that's under 500. The Clips on the other side, they are. Let me get this right on the way. Oh my God, let me see. Clippers away are 15 and 14 away against the spread, but as dogs they are 3 and 8 as dogs. So when they're supposed to lose, they tend to lose. We're gonna have to go right now and just keep it safe. We're gonna go with the money line of the Milwaukee Bucks. Wait on news to Giannis. If Giannis is playing in this game, then we have full confidence in the Milwaukee Bucks taking advantage of a Clippers team who's hampered, and they're going to be on the back end of a back-to-back matchup. All right, so Bucks money line minus 185. Let's go on to the next game. Up next, we have the Portland Trail Blazers, who are 17 and 42, going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's almost a reverse record, 42 and 19. Okay, now looking at the line, minus 1,400 on the money line for Timberwolves. You won't be taking the money line. All right, you gotta play either point spread or a total for the Timberwolves, or you try to fit in that first half cover of the point spread. Okay, which is probably going to be around 7 to 8 points. All right. Now, if you want the Trailblazers, if you believe in the Trailblazers to win, that's plus 800. So that's a huge number there. Point spread is at 14.5 on both sides, with the total being at 213.5. And that's very, very strategic if guys pay attention. So I'm going to break that down very soon. Now, looking at the odds, 96% of the bets are going to be on the Timberwolves. And then you got almost a split here with the money. 56% of the money with the majority being on the Timberwolves at 56%. The point spread is down the middle. If the T-Wolves are going to cover that spread of almost 15 points, split down the middle, 50 and 56%. And the total is right pretty much straight down the middle, 52% of the bets and the money on the under, slight lean to the under of 213.5. Now, with the injury report here, this is going to be the key sign for the Portland Trail Blazers to most likely not cover. All right, we're going to go to the reports. This is Roto World. DeAndre Ayton and Matisse Thybulle are questionable for the game. So you got to wait on news if DeAndre Ayton, he's the main factor. Matisse Thybulle is not really a factor. Are they going to play in the game on Monday? The big out is going to be Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant is right there, their leading scorer, one of their leading scorers on the Portland offense. He is going to be out of this game on Monday. That is a big loss, okay? I get it. The Minnesota Timberwolves are coming off the second game of a back-to-back. They just lost to the Clippers. Now they're staying home and going to face the lowly Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the key component here, I think that's going to be the best number. Looking at these games, look at the first three matchups. We had game one was a total of 209 points. Okay, the next game was a total of 230 points. And then the game three was a total of 219 points. Now, the common factor here was the two Portland games were overs. Were over that 213.5, which is the current over-under. Now, this game here, this game four, is in Minnesota. The last time the game went under 213 points was when it was game one, when Minnesota was home going against Portland. I say Minnesota gets up big, and Portland cannot keep up pace, and they will cover the number at the 14.5, and the under will hit at 213.5 points. Under, all right? So Timberwolves cover and Timberwolves under 213. That's going to be the selection. Let's go on to the next game. Next up, we have a matchup, another East versus West matchup. Washington Wizards going up against the Utah Jazz. Wizards are 9-51. They are currently on a 14-game losing streak. And you have the Utah Jazz who are 27-34. Okay, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. If we're looking at the line here, this is a little fishy to me. All right, now the money line for the Jazz is -300. The Washington Wizards money line, if you want them, is at a +230. Point spread on both sides is 6.5, and the total is at a 240.5 total points. Okay, looking at the money, 94% of the bets is on Utah. 70% of the money is on Utah. 59% of the bets is on Utah to cover 6.5, and 43% of the money is on Utah to cover that spread. The majority of the points, 53% and 56%, on the under of 240.5 points. Okay, now key injuries here. Otto Porter Jr., he's going to be bought out. He's not even with the team right now. Walker Kessler is going to be out of this game, but Jordan Clarkson will be back as the sixth man or shooting guard for the Utah Jazz. All right. Now, looking at this team here, their previous matchup, it was a 15-point blowout. All right, 15-point blowout in the previous matchup, and that was in Washington. Now we're getting a line that is only 6.5, and Utah is home, and they're the better home team. Utah against the spread is 19-10 at home against the spread. Utah as favorites is 11-6 as favorites. Something is not adding up. This line should be close to 10 points. It should be 8 to 10 point range. I'm feeling like Vegas does not want to give out a +300, +400 winner here. So, we're going to go with, we're going to test them. I want to see, show me. Give me the +6.5 on the Washington Wizards in this game. Matter of fact, give me the money line on the Washington Wizards in this game. I think the Wizards can win outright in this matchup against the Utah Jazz. I'm going to call Vegas's bluff. I do not like this line, and we're going to be on the side of the point spread and the money line of the Washington Wizards. Let's go on to the next game. Another one, East versus West. Chicago Bulls, 28-32, going up against and traveling to Sacramento, who are 34-25. Looking at the line, minus 275 on the Kings, a plus 220 on the Bulls on the money line. The point spread is 6.5 on both sides, with the over-under being at 228.5 points, okay? Looking at the public bet percentage, 93% of the bets is on the Kings, but 74% of the money on the money line for the Bulls, okay? So kind of split there with the bets and the money. Majority of the money is going to be on the Bulls. The majority of the bets, obviously, is going to be on the Kings. Point spread, 58% of the bets on the Kings, 59% of the money on the Kings. And you have the total points here, 62% on the over and 57% of the money on the over, okay, that 228.5. Key injury news, Alex Caruso on the Bulls. He is a true questionable, okay? We have no information about if he practiced during in the previous days. He's going to be a true questionable. Watch out for news on RotoWire or Roto World if Alex Caruso is going to play in this game. He could be a big factor here as a defender. De'Aaron Fox, on the other hand, he's trending towards playing, okay? De'Aaron Fox was a full participant in Sunday's practice, is listed as questionable on Monday. So that's good that he got into practice. He's going to be trending towards playing, okay? That's a positive sign there. And looking at the previous matchup between these two teams here, you had the Sacramento Kings beating the Bulls in Chicago by 8 points, and that total was 238 points in that particular game. Now you have the total in Sacramento at 228. They dropped it 10 points here. If everything's fine, if Fox is going to play, I'm going to lean towards the over, and I'm going to lean towards the money line of that 275. I'm taking the money line of the Kings and leaning towards the over of 228. It's going to be a flip of the coin with the point spread. If you feel comfortable that the Bulls are going to play tough and take that point, take that 6.5. But I feel a little bit better with the money line. Just taking the money line and moving away at minus 275. Let's go on to the last and final game. Last but not least, we have the OKC Thunder, 41-18, going up against the LA Lakers, who are 33-29. All right. Looking at the spread, looking at the odds, excuse me. We have the OKC Thunder, who are underdogs right now in this game. They are currently playing, so there's going to be a back end of a back-to-back. They're playing the Suns right now, and then they're going to have to go to Crypto.com Arena to LA and face the Lakers on Monday, all right? So if you want the Lakers on the money line, it's pretty much a pick 'em, minus 115. If you want the Thunder, it's at a minus 105, with the point spread being at a 1.5 points, okay? The over-under is at 240.5, okay? Looking at the public bets is 82% on the Lakers, 97% on the money on the Lakers. 60% of the bets is on the Lakers to cover the spread. If you want to, you might as well just take that. The chances of just winning by one is very slim, but 62% of the money on the Lakers as well to cover that spread. Now, the over and under, 62% of the bets on that over 240 and 59% of the money on the over 240.5, okay? Looking at the injuries, right now, everyone is pretty much fine, okay? None of these are big injuries. Jalen Williams, the backup guy. Christian Wood barely plays, and Jared Vanderbilt could be a main factor here as a defender, but he's not really that big of a factor in this matchup. The key factors are LeBron and AD. Make sure those guys are in the game. Looking at the previous matchups, right now the Lakers lead the series 2-1. It's the final matchup between the Lakers and OKC Thunder. You had totals of 243. You had totals of 249 in game 2 and 217 in the third game. And as you can see, those overs were in OKC. All right. The big totals of 243 and 249 were in OKC. This game's in LA, and you had that score, that previous score, that 217, and now you're getting it here with the over-under spread at, 240? Could we be getting value here? OKC Thunder Second game of back-to-back, maybe a little bit tired here. Going up against a well-rested Lakers team. The way the Lakers win is defensively. I'm going to go, I love the under here. 240 points. We're taking the under. And you know what else we're taking? We're taking the money line on the Lakers, okay? Lakers going to stay in contention. They need this is kind of a must-win game, all right? Lakers stay in contention. You catch OKC a little bit tired. And we're going to be going with the money line of the Lakers and the under 240.5 points in this game. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want my final plays of the day, go to that Patreon link down below and get connected. Get ready for all the content I'm be providing on that platform right now. Get signed up, and we'll see. But I might be raising the price, but we'll see. All right. Peace out.